Hello, hi, and welcome back once again to Narcissu Side Second. It's been about an hour since we recorded that last part, so I guess I'm just gonna do it to myself. I guess we're gonna I told myself I was just gonna quit for the night, but I don't want to let it go. My brain is not gonna let me go to sleep until I see this story through. And I don't know that that's the greatest thing that I want to be reading before bed, but hey, these stories are ultimately meant to be uplifting in a way as well. I think that that's very easy to see. So all right, here we go. Magic. Let's do it.
じゃあ、ここでお別れしましょう。
Well, let's part here. The rolling sound of bells. Stopping the car in front of the church. Himiko-san, let me get off.
節美、もうお
Oh,
見舞いに来ちゃダメよ。
Setsumi, no more coming to visit, okay?
え？
Huh? Sudden words. They were to never meet. They were to never meet again. It meant farewell.
ね。こんな時私は
Hey, at a time like this,
残されるものはどうすればいいの？
the ones left behind, what should they do?
別に普通でいいのよ。
Nothing really. The usual is fine.
もっと具体的に言って。
Say it more completely. Put your spine into it.
言葉の通りよ。普通のまま。
As the words mean. Just normally.
自然に言って。
Be natural. Even though a close person will soon be dying, even though they'd never meet again, could those left behind there really be normal?
難しいこと言わないでよ。
Don't say difficult things.
じゃあ、笑って見送ってあげて。
Then smile and see me off.
もっと難しいわ。
That's even harder. And then, turning her back towards me, Himiko-san started walking towards the church in front of her. Facing that back, I asked a final question.
姫子さん。最後にもう一つだけ。
Himiko-san, tell me one last thing.
いいわよ。
Sure.
ネロは、
Nello,
アロアは
Alois,
幸せだったの。
were they happy? At that question, Himiko-san silently looked down. Shortly after, just briefly, she glanced at the church, and then boldly facing the sky.
さあ、どっちなんだろうね。
Which was it, I wonder?
よくわからないね。
I don't really know. While speaking, she gave me a smile, even though very soon she would probably disappear from this world. In the end, she faced me with her usual smile.
それじゃあ、
Well then,
さよなら。コロッケ博士。
farewell, Professor Croquette. And so, the friend of 40 days, of one summer, disappeared toward the 7th floor. Name, Himiko. A princess's Hime and a child's Ko. Blood type AB. Age 23. Libra. Female. Vinyl identification bracelet color, white. In the year 1999, out of the world's over 1 billion Catholics, one disappeared.
私に変なあだ名と
Upon me, a strange nickname and
不思議な魔法をかけ、
a mysterious magic she cast.
この世界からも消えた。
And from this world, she disappeared. The high sun when you look up, the rolling sound of church bells, the endlessly continuing blue sky, the loudly crying voices of cicadas. Even though very soon the summer would end, today also looked to be a hot day. Ugh. Yeah, I mean, I don't have to sit here and tell you. Again, this is much like the first game. I don't have to tell you what this game's trying to tell you. Epilogue Winter. The very long summer ended. Quickly, fall passed, and early Christmas songs were playing in the streets. Setsumi, a package came. I took the small package from Mother. Normally, I wouldn't be receiving any packages. However, there was only one thing that came. The thing she wanted. I know what it is! Oh! A package to be delivered on a certain date, that sender's name. With a sense of premonition, I went to check. Alois. Letters written small with a ballpoint pen. It was from Himeko-san. While alive, at what point she sent it out, I didn't know. But she had said that she would give a different thing as a present. And then, tremblingly, with equal amounts of expectation and unease, I opened it to look. Yep. A one piece. Summery white with a cute yellow sunflower pattern. Okay. It was something that she had said numerous times she would buy for me. The thing that I had seemed to want. The one-piece dress spread in my hands by the window on a hanger were the washed pajamas. And the sailor uniform I was still wearing now. As proof of my once normal days, the only piece of clothing other than pajamas that I owned. My heart swayed. So happy before I knew it, I was about to pass my arms through the sleeves. But I stopped my hands. And then, once again, returning it to the box, I decided to wear the person who was more worthy of accepting it was. A place I hadn't come to in a number of months. Passing through the side of the nurse's station, my goal was to find her, but she was nowhere to be seen. In the room that Himeko-san had once been in, it was expected, but a nameplate I didn't recognize. Giving the old lady in the wheelchair inside a small bow and greeting, I left the 7th floor. While returning, by chance, the courtyard came into view. In that place, here and there, daffodils were beginning to blossom. The other flower beds had been left barren in this season, and I thought their singly blooming figures were proud and beautiful. The rolling sound of bells. Visiting here was the first since Himeko-san's funeral. Then I called to the person I had been searching for. Chihiro-san. Setsumi-san. It's been a while, hasn't it? What brings you to such a place? Well, because you weren't at the hospital. Oh, because I've stopped being a helper. Yeah, that's probably for the best. It's probably not a great idea to be around that right now. Until my feelings calm down a little, I've decided to rest. Saying that, unchanged from before, she showed me her calm face. From that expression, I felt I might not have a duty. Felt I'd been told that I didn't have to go say any complaints in her place. By the way, what's wrong? Did you come here to pray? No, that's not it. As I spoke, I took from my tote bag the box with the clothing. A present from your One-san. Huh?
しれな
It
い。
might be a bit small, but
そう。ありがとう。
I think I see. Thank you. Accepting the box, she gave that reply, but a somewhat troubled expression surfaced.
千尋さん、
Chihiro-san,
ごめんね。
I'm sorry.
実はお姉ちゃんから聞かされてたんだ。
Truth is, I've been told by One-chan.
何のこと？
What's this about?
もしかしたら
That maybe
節美さんが私にそう言ってくれた
Setsumi-san might come say that to me. Huh?
でね、その時はこれを渡してくれ。
And see, at that time, she said to hand this over. Yep! The maps! And that's how it all ties together. This is where Setsumi's interest in maps comes from. This is where she got them. I mean, I knew that was probably going to be I knew that was probably going to be how she got them at some point, because you don't just introduce the maps that were a big thing in the first game and then not do something with them in order to get them into her possession by the end. I had thought that maybe that would be the first package, because I didn't expect her to get the dress, but I get it. I totally get it. Atop the bed spread maps. On there were national roads, expressways, countless roads I didn't know the names of. Separate wide maps of all 47 prefectures at a few tens of thousands to one scale, and 3,000 to one scale detailed city maps were drawn on them. Returning the One Piece, I received maps. Perhaps Himiko-san had expected this? That I would choose this side. And then, tucked into the maps was a single envelope. I don't know that I'm ready for this. God, you're gonna do something. The game's got a knife at the ready. It wants to do something with this envelope. God, don't. Oh, here we go. Okay. What was inside? Oh, God. Dude. That's fucked up, man. Ugh. Okay. What was inside 5 10,000 yen bills? Once, while looking in the maps, she had said that with just that much, one could go anywhere.
これが最後に笑えるための
This was for smiling at the end.
残り半分の
The remaining half of the magic? If there is a prayer, then there is also a curse. Most likely I would choose neither. I have a feeling I won't be able to choose. As someone like that, just what would become of me, I
こ
wonder.
んな私でもいつかは笑えるのだろうか
Even someone like me, I wonder, will I be able to smile someday?
最後には
In the end,
笑うことが
would I be able to smile?
できるのだろうか
Ugh. Oh my god. Okay, that's not it. That's not it. There's more. Because this just unlocked epilogue. Oh, plus full credits. All right. We can do it. We can do it, everybody. We'll get through this. I'll get you through this just fine. Here we go. Epilogue and full credits. All right. What do we got? Hit me. The first floor, just before outpatient reception. I walked along the white plastic tape stretched on the floor. Then at the end of it, I got into a small elevator and pressed the button for the highest floor. The 7th floor, Before my eyes was the nurse's station. Altogether, a number of nurses looked this way, but once they recognized me, their eyes turned back as if they saw nothing. They returned to their work. The lounge. Recently, it was my usual spot. From the large television screen came some early spring program. I was just somewhat gazing at it. There was nothing else to do, nothing else I could do. Since that time, it had been almost a month. It felt as if something had changed, but also felt as if nothing had changed. In the end, my parents complained as I had expected. And then, for some reason, from her parents came words of thanks. The difference between the two sets of parents was impressive.
こんにちは。
Hello. When I turned around, it was a young woman I didn't recognize. And you are?
新しく7階担当となったヘルパーです。
A helper that was newly assigned to the 7th floor.
よろしくお願いします。
Pleased to meet you. Cheerfully, the girl bowed her head slightly. She seemed to still be a newcomer, but most likely she also had come to ask about the incident. Outside of those who were directly involved, there weren't any that knew the details, but in this hospital, some rumors had been spreading. It probably wasn't out of simple curiosity, but because of that, various people had come to speak to me. You also know? Yes, I've heard about the incident. I see. I'm sure that this person who was thinking that I did something stupid. Even when people listened to my story, for the most part, they frowned. That was why I didn't particularly like telling people.
節美さん、
Setsumi-san,
最後は笑ってくれましたか？
in the end, did she smile? Wait a minute. Oh God, are we protagonist-kun? This is after Setsumi died, isn't it? Huh?
もしそうなら、私も嬉しい。
If that were so, then I'm happy also. The severe winter ended, and soon one would be unable to wear button-down clothing.
入りますよ。
I'm coming in.
どうですか？
How's your
お
health?
かげ。
Today it looks pretty good. Even though she had her own assignment, she would often come to see me. Oh, that's right. You knew about Setsumi.
ええ。大学生の時にもヘルパーやってたんですけど。
Yes. I was a helper when I was at university, but only a bit then. I see. With that answer, she had a calm, somewhat nostalgic expression. Were you close?
どうでしょうね。あまり感情を出さない
I
人でした
wonder.
し
She wasn't one to show much emotion after all.
ただ、彼女のために。
However, I've prayed for her numerous times. Prayed?
ええ。今でもお
Yes.
祈りしていますよ。
Even now, I still pray. That's for whom?
すべての人の
For
ためです。
everyone. Words with no hesitation.
もしよかったら、あなたにも。
And if it's all right for you too. April. I was looking at the vases decorating the window. Those were the same flowers that we saw that day. She had said that it was rare to find them in this season. Even speaking strictly, they were the same. When I asked about them afterwards, they were apparently taken from those blooming in that courtyard. Then why was it that at the time? She answered Awaji Shima. I wonder. She said it was simply because she asked, but with her encyclopedic knowledge, she could have known that they were planted at the hospital.
こんにちは。
Good afternoon. Today the helper girl also came.
その花好きなんですか？
Those flowers, do you like them? Sorta.
綺麗ですね。確 確か水仙でした。
They're beautiful, aren't they? These are daffodils, right? Narcissus.
ナルキッソス。
Narcissus. It seems like that's their scientific name. The family of big ol' word that I can't say. They blossomed in the winter, and one could grow them from seeds, but it takes years to flower, so they were cultivated as bulbs. Then, in the language of flowers, self-love. However, whether that were true,
詳しいんですね。よかったらもっと教えてください。
ah, you know a lot, don't you? If you could, would you tell me more? Originally, the word came from Greek myth. June. The thin sky of right before the rainy season spread wide. Under that watercolored sky, my temporary discharge had been postponed. It was supposed to be my third temporary discharge, so essentially, it would be a perpetual postponement.
大丈夫ですか？
Are you all right? I'm fine. More importantly, since 2 months ago, no one knew it'd come. Perhaps the timing was bad, but already, there were very few people left. Hey, is there anyone new set to come here?
詳しくは知らないですけど。
I don't really know the details, but
なんでも半年ほどは新規の受け入れはし
I had heard that for a half a year they weren't accepting new patients. I see.
それがどうかしましたか？
Was there something about that? It was most likely yeah, I was thinking that. Like, they don't think that they can trust people anymore because we had the wildest of joy rides. Then I'm putting my trust in you. I have just one request. He wants to pass on the rules, I think.
はい。何でしょう？
What is it? This is really something you have nothing to do with, but please, I want you to pass this on.
それじゃ
Well then,
一度しか言わないからしっかり聞いてね。
I'll only say this once, so listen well. Oh man, yeah, that was good. Yeah, again, it's just kind of one of those games where I don't have to sit here and do much blabbering about what this story's trying to say and what it's showing. It's just, it is what it is. Anybody watching this is smart enough to figure it out. I don't have to sit here and say it. I don't know that I could say it because I would probably sit here and break down because I've experienced a lot of death over the last year. So maybe in a way it was real dumb for me to play this series. But yeah. It's my only real beef was really the Ogulus translation. Really, that needed some finessing because that first script reads like a dream. That Insani, whatever. That reads like a dream, and it's just really, really potent.
最後にもう一つ。
Finally, one more.
もう一つ。
One more? Oh. For those left behind, smile for them.
こうして
And so,
私のもとへ
I was entrusted with the rules.
まだ
The still unseen, true bearer, I'm sure will soon appear. I'm sure, even if released from my hands, always, they would continue to be passed down. Those dazzling days, those winter days. Oh man, that's so much. That's a real good story. Like I said, my only real issue is that I thought that the side second translation was not quite up to snuff in the same ways that the GP32 translation was for the first game, and it made it really hard to read. But as is, I think, pretty evident, it still hits like a damn truck. So yeah, that wraps up Narcissu first and second. I've not really decided if I'm going to go after anything else in the series. And if I am, it's not going to be immediately. I can't throw myself against against the rocks more with more stories like this and that. And I think they're all probably stories about terminal illness, and I think that could probably become a bit samey if I tried to do all of those back to back to back. So yeah. And I've also just heard that the translation quality of those is not very good, and I'm really not. I don't like reading things out loud that read like speed bumps, and we definitely ran into that a few times with this one, unfortunately. But again, the point still got across, but I've definitely read more, like, it sounds worse than what's happened here, because I do know that like this script was still loved on, despite the fact that it read like a speed bump at a lot of points. It sounds like the ones that are in that 10th anniversary collection are actually somehow worse. Even for first and second, they somehow made the scripts worse, and it sounds like there's a lot of bugs. So I just don't know that we're going to be coming back here unless I can get some like definitive proof that maybe they've cleaned that stuff up, or maybe it's not as bad as I've heard. But it's been so consistent though. So yeah, for now, that is the end of our journey into Narcissu. Thanks so much for stopping by. I hope you got something out of it. I think that they're really beautiful stories. I think that their themes are very important. I think they're very touching. I think they're very well told. Even to the point where you have to kind of like, suspend your disbelief a bit with that first game and how that whole road trip went completely unchallenged. I still think that these are wonderful. I still think that first game is really special, and that it played such a big role in me wanting to write a visual novel of my own, which we did with Her Lullaby and Afterward. If you ever want to play anything that I've written personally. You can also play Narcissu first and second free on Steam. This is something you can just get. And these translations are better than the one that's in the 10th anniversary collection. So you want to play these games yourself, which I mean, I guess it would be weird if you watched somebody else do it and then want to go do it yourself. But anyway, you get my point. This is a great series. Glad we did it. I'm glad to have finally experienced side second. I think that's just a beautiful story. Himiko was such a wonderful character to get to know, and learning so much more about Setsumi and just like how she attained the worldview she has, and just learning a lot more about her was good. So I guess that is going to put a cap on things for now. Thanks so much, as always, for stopping by. I hope you're having a great whatever it is, wherever you are, and we will see you next time. Bye.